Okay. Should be in a pretty good place to... So at what point am I able to get back to the village? Oh, never mind. I saw that I was able to get to there.
Pretty soon. I mean, you can get back there pretty early before you even recruit Ashley back or find Ashley.
Oh,
Do that
no.
right here.
My audio on OBS, I cannot get it to output to a monitor, like output to my headphones. So I have to
Mm,
output to Wavelink and then output from that to my headphones.
go
And
through like
then,
5 different channels.
yeah. And so it's a good half-second delay from a shot to the
Oh,
sound.
fun.
It's real bad.
That's not going to be an issue at all. Should we hop in recording booth and drop it down to 3?
Yeah, that makes sense. There we go. Would you be able to check the YouTube and see if its audio is coming through okay?
Sure.
Wow, that delay is so bad.
It, the mics sound great. Will you shoot around a little bit? It's delaying the audio for the capture as well.
Damn. Okay. Now, why is that? Because I had it one for one earlier, and I don't remember how the hell I got that.
You could probably delay the audio in either like your in OBS specifically, like the output.
Yeah. You know what? Let's see. Now, if I change the properties capture card. It looks a little, that might be better. I may have, I don't know if it's better in the actual audio capture.
Fire a couple
Nope.
rounds. Knife, the knife, the knife delay, or the audio with the knife sounds a lot more synced. Yeah, it sounds synced up.
Oh, it does. Oh, okay.
Yeah, it sounds a lot better.
That's what I can also do. This wavelength. Start recording. Hello, little doggy.
And cannon, excellent.
What is?
The cannon, the castle, just excellent. Pupper.
Yeah, I save dogs for a living. I feel like Leon can go ahead and go home now.
That's actually Baby Eagle.
Yeah.
Guess the last one, ask and ye shall receive, is right.
That's what it was that I did. I got the...
There it is.
Is there a key for every locked chest, or should I be picky about which ones I open?
The game, at least in my experience so far, the game is very good at giving you as long as you're thorough in your exploration, sometimes later than you might think, but you will always get a key, a small key for each of the locked spots. There is like a 1-to-1.
Okay.
It's just some are later than you might think upon like revisiting an area.
Okay.
But there's usually one nearby for every locked drawer. All right, I'm using this goddamn. Question though, I don't know how much it would cause strain for you, at least on your system or anything. Would you be able to like stream a
Yeah, to y'all.
preview or something to us? Yeah, so we can get a 1-to-1.
Very good. Good point. Let's see.
Hey.
Man, I can't remember which one I found. Because I found a...
You've got 2 small keys. Damn, you're in good
Yeah, I'm
shape.
pretty rich.
People give me things loaded.
I found... I think it's in here. The tiara. Yeah.
Oh, the
the
elegant hat
mask.
mask? Yeah.
Should I... I need to turn my self monitor down. Wait a second. How am I... Oh, because I'm doing it through system. Huh. Okay. Yeah, looks like it's coming through better. Okay. For like, I have 3 gems that I could socket.
Right.
Should I just go ahead and do it, or should I like wait and do the...
So go ahead and pull up the mask.
Yeah.
Go to inlaid gemstones. Look, if you hit X.
Yeah.
So that's kind of your call. You will get a decent amount of all as you throughout. It's really just like how long are you willing to be
Broke.
a little bit broke, or
Yeah.
are you, because also like this game is really good about reimbursing you, specifically this one as opposed to the original, reimbursing you for the money invested in the weapons that you upgrade. So it incentivizes you to like sell your old guns. And so like if you get like the Red 9, which you can find for free, if you get the Red 9, not a bad idea to unless you like you're adamant about having the laser sight, it's not a bad idea to like sell that gun and use the money from that. Or if you're like dead set on keeping it, you can sell, the elegant mask with like 3 times the gem or like a 3 times sapphire. But I don't. Some of that's gonna have to be like your gamble.
Yeah.
Like you've got some better gemstones coming up if you want to take the safe bet now, or go for a trio bonus. Also, hi Chris.
Hi.
Hello, Chris.
How you doing, bud?
Not bad. How you doing?
Great. Playing Resident Evil, watching him play Resident Evil.
Bunch of Resident Evil in this room.
So much.
Is Preston's audio doubled up for you too, Rob?
I had it muted. Let's see.
That's weird.
Oh, it's because of the stream.
Oh, the stream, yeah. I'm
Okay.
streaming back through OBS
Yeah.
to monitor
Okay.
myself.
See.
My OBS
just-
monitor system just gave up. It will output to my speakers, but it will not output to my headphones. So I have to just output to Wavelink and then monitor from there. It's really frustrating.
Weird.
Sounds
Why are you always
good on the
breaking
stream.
stuff, Preston?
I got a fancy new capture card and it immediately just broke all of
Oh,
my initial
no.
setup.
What capture card did you get?
That Elgato 60 whatever.
60S plus, HD 60S plus.
60X.
Whoa, big spend over here.
But I didn't get, I definitely did not get anything that I have to put into my PC.
Yeah, I hear those are the best ones, but also I
Yeah.
don't want to do that.
Definitely don't want to do that. I was close to getting a desktop one that has the SD card. I was just like, when would I ever actually use this? I maybe would have used it once at PAX.
Fair.
Yeah.
Hold on.
I'm just gonna
Being
get my
wonky.
knife taken care of.
Hold that knife.
I'm about to get the shotgun, so maybe I'll save my
we
money.
go.
Upgrade that once I can. So Chris, I was telling Rob, we'll probably do what was your experience with the original? I'll ask y'all generally, what did they do to update? Awesome. What did they do to update the new one? What do you think of it overall? And then what do you think of it in context of an update?
Okay.
Also, you can stab those bear traps, Preston. Without
Oh, you can stab them. I've been
Yep.
shooting them. So that's
you can
great.
totally stab them. If you like aim your melee, your knife, and then like do the lunge or the thrust, you can get it pretty good. Like if you just hit the border, you don't even have to hit the center of the trap. If you like hit the rim,
Oh.
it'll activate it.
Now, does my display look weird to y'all? I feel like the details are a little bit funky here. But I don't know if that's just the way Resident Evil displays.
It looks good to me.
Okay.
Yeah, it looks fine. Looks great.
Sure looks like Resident Evil.
So, and we'll also just try to keep it, around 30 minutes.
Yeah, for sure.
Okay.
Sounds good to me.
Got the recording going. We are still streaming, or at least we should be. For any chatters in the chat who want to chat to us through the chat.
Did you do a Twitter post?
I did
No,
not.
I'll do one. Just in case.
And then if we're going to hang out, we can keep the initial conversation around 30 minutes as best as possible. And then, we've got the Diablo 4 one immediately after, pretty much. So we can either hang around. See, I'm going to take notes in here. At some point, I'll have to duck out to go get Rachel from the front. No idea when that's going to be. Are y'all ready to go?
Yep, I'm ready.
Robbie, you still tweeting at the Twitter?
Yeah.
Okay. No worries. Just let me know when. Whoa, where's that guy going? Bingo? I know that line now.
No, his parents were killed by Bingo.
Oh, God.
What's that?
Bingo. Bingo was his name-o. Look, everybody, I'm just here for a shotgun.
Done tweeted. Done the thing.
Okay, I'm gonna get our intro rolling here. Hello, everybody. We are playing Resident Evil 4 Remake. I am joined here by Chris.
I'm Chris.
Hi, Chris.
Hi.
And oh my God! Sorry, Rob.
That's one hell of a way to make an entrance. Hi, it's me. Oh
Hi,
yeah.
Rob. Oh no! I
I'm
didn't.
also the Kool-Aid man, and here are my dogs. Don't stop shooting my dogs.
Your dog's
They're good boys.
Whoa. Preston, you're killing dogs right now, man. What are you doing?
Good. Get him.
Why aren't you dead? I upgraded my knife and everything.
Those dogs don't fuck around, dude.
You're gonna die. You gotta reload, bro.
You are.
Yeah, I'm gonna die.
On the
This is a great way
verge
to
of
start.
It's accurate. Also, bear in mind there's a bear trap nearby.
You're just gonna knife these guys?
I'm just gonna.
You got ammo in that gun, buddy.
Who needs
Yeah,
ammo when you've got an upgraded knife?
It's in keeping with. See, that's the thing is Preston's playing the original Resident Evil 4 where all you do is knife everything.
Everything. It's
And
a
then die.
self-imposed limitation.
True to form.
So yeah, we're playing Resident Evil 4 Remake. I am on the sticks, as you can see, and I have never played Resident Evil 4. This is my first experience with it. Both of y'all have played, and I believe have beaten the remake as well, correct?
I haven't beaten the remake.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm still in the castle.
I also am still in the castle.
But y'all do have experience with the original?
Oh
Yeah. Finished the original like 3 times, at least 2 times, 2 or 3.
Finished it on the GameCube and on the PlayStation 2 a bunch, and also played a bunch of Mercenary back in the day when it first came out.
Now, what would be your recommendation for me here?
Don't die.
Shoot those dogs.
Shoot those dogs.
Don't shoot the bird, you son of a bitch.
I'm not going to say I haven't done it.
shoot the birds. They drop money.
Oh, okay. So yeah, this is a remake of GameCube game originally that came out in 2003 or 4.
2005, I thought.
2005. I was close.
2000 something.
In the 2000s. And it is getting rave
2005,
reviews.
yeah. January 11th, 2005.
Wow. what have y'all? Do you know what all they have updated since with this new release? Besides, very clearly the graphical update that we're seeing.
A lot.
So much. Yeah.
There's a lot.
Yeah, I don't know if you would like it's close. I don't know if it's quite like Resident Evil 2 remake levels of that much change, just because that it was like a complete perspective change. I think that feels more like extreme, but there is a
turning
lot
Resident
changed
Evil
here.
2 into Resident Evil 4, but still being Resident Evil 2. This is Resident Evil 4 times 2. It feels like a new game that takes what you remember and injects it with steroids or Plagas, I guess, in this instance.
I mean, one of the biggest things, obviously, is being able to move and shoot is completely new and very useful. And the way they've kind of balanced that is that you don't quite have the level of precision that you did before. I'm sure mouse and keyboard helps with that a little bit, but like your camera is swaying while you're aiming, even when you're standing still.
It definitely still sways, as well as it's similar to what Resident Evil 2 Remake has. The reticle, if you stay still and like don't move your cursor for a little bit, the reticle tightens up, and so the potential spread also tightens up.
Oh, right.
But unless you have something you can get with spinels early on for your striding gun, you can get a laser sight, which makes you like 100% well, not 100% accurate, but there is no spread. Like your bullet is a 1-to-1 with your laser sight.
Yeah, your camera will still sway, but there's no spread anymore, which is great. I had that for about 2 fights before I found the Red 9. Was like, I remember the Red 9. I'm switching to the Red 9.
I just sold my Red 9 at the castle and got the what is it? The Blacktail? Yeah.
I just stuck to the Red 9, man. I'm all about it. Fully upgraded now.
Mine was near fully upgraded. Well, it was the first set of full upgrades, and then I sold it so I could get the Blacktail fully upgraded, or at its first grouping of upgrades, is more powerful and better overall than the Red 9.
Yeah. And the Blacktail, what's its special thing? I know the Punisher has penetration. Matilda has a 3-round burst. Does Blacktail have anything specific? I think you can you use the red sight?
You can't use the laser sight that you get, but I honestly don't recall right now. It just feels better. Oh, it occupies less inventory space.
Oh yeah,
part of it.
That is very nice. Yeah, I'm very upset that I have not really been able to make the space in my inventory for the bowgun the whole game, and I have just a ton of bolts for it.
So besides, have y'all noticed, I mean, without much story spoilers, even though, again, this is a 18-year-old game, has there been many... Whoa, Oh, I hate her. I hate her so much.
You deserve that.
I did.
No, buddy.
You got the second you get that sway, you got to run right in.
God.
The roundhouse. Another thing that Chris was mentioning with as far as changes is like, because you can move and shoot, the enemies are a lot more aggressive.
Yeah.
And they will straight up sprint at you sometimes. But the counter to that is you can parry with your knife. And that has durability because it's kind of, I wouldn't say like overpowered or anything, but it's very
generous.
Useful. It's a generous window, and like the tighter the parry, like you get a perfect parry, it reduces the amount of sharpness that degrades. And also gets you the ability to do a roundhouse kick if you do a perfect one, which is super useful. But like you can also upgrade there's durability of the knives, but you can also upgrade your main one that you get from Marvin in RE2, the combat knife, to make it less the durability less of an issue.
Yeah, and I believe there are more knives you can get that you can upgrade.
There's
I have
one
not gotten
specifically that you can make unbreakable eventually.
which sounds great.
Yeah,
But yeah,
exactly.
definitely upgrade your knife durability. Like the first thing. It's the first thing that I've been maxing every time it's become available to upgrade more.
Yeah,
Mhm.
that's
Very useful.
definitely the first thing I put money into. Come on.
But that said, they're pretty generous with knives. Like I had several points where, because I always restore the durability on my knife when I see a merchant, I had several times where I had like 5 knives just sitting in my inventory. But at some point you will either forget to repair or you will use your knife so much that you will need those extra knives. So
And also, they're used as another resource in crafting bolts. If
Yep.
you want to use your
Oh.
bolt thrower, which is great. Bolt thrower is I'm a big fan.
stealthy.
Not even just
but also you
stealthy.
can turn them into like mines, and those are very powerful.
The bolt thrower is great for like rotating ammo essentially, and like because the strength of the bolt thrower is you can pick up the ammo that you shoot, right? And so it's useful to like get a couple headshots with the bolt thrower and then like stun them, go for the roundhouse and stab them. So like, and that'll save like, I'm playing on hardcore, that'll save like between 5 to 8 handgun rounds.
Mm.
And so sometimes it's useful in a fight rather than burn through like a full magazine.
Yeah. So you were asking earlier about big changes, and then you did mention no story spoilers. So there won't be any story spoilers, except to say that they have pretty significantly changed the story and like the sequence of events and the order that events happen. I'm not at the end of the game, obviously. I'm only like, I don't know, maybe 75% to the castle or something. But there's already been, especially in the castle, there's been a lot of stuff that's pretty significantly different, which is awesome.
Yeah, so does that, do you think that this still would have felt fresh without all of that? I mean, enough to keep you interested without the story changes.
Yeah, I mean, they could have taken all the story and dialogue out of the game, and I still would have enjoyed this game because it's a very fun game to play. But I do think the updates that they did are really, really good. Like they've made it modern, because the dialogue in the original game is like, it was great for its time, but it has not aged well. So yeah,
Disarm those.
Oh, well,
yeah, you can just walk up to them and push a button, and then they're still there to shoot later if an enemy's walking by it.
I'll do that in a minute.
Hey Preston, that's the shotgun.
Wait, where? How do I miss this? Things just...
Right
there.
You almost did it again.
I almost did it again. Oh no!
You have plenty of space.
Yeah,
Your inventory just look messy.
There we go.
Oh, auto sort, heathen.
How filthy! Fucking filthy. Okay, so here's an important question for everyone. How do you sort your inventory?
Well, Preston just auto sorts.
Auto sort, yeah.
His opinion's invalid, Chris.
Right.
I've got like guns up on the top rows, guns and my knife, and then I've got healing in the bottom right, and like crafting stuff in the bottom left, and then ammo kind of sandwiched between those.
Okay. I have pretty much like my healing stuff on the bottom row, starting from the left. I have my guns kind of stacked up on top of each other from the top left, and like resources and knives on the right. It feels so good being able to get that hit of dopamine from just sorting your inventory. It's so good.
Yeah, Preston doesn't like dopamine though.
No, I'm not a fan.
Preston's a heathen.
I've been so long without, I don't know what it's like to have it. One thing I think that we had in the DraftPunks Discord, we had aired a little bit of grievance with, is some early encounters can be really rough, especially again for me, who like, I'm not entirely sure when to just run from enemies, when to stand my ground. And does the power curve continue to feel satisfying where am I ever going to feel overpowered, or does it just consistently ramp up with the enemies? Because I felt like Village had a little bit of an issue where it didn't ramp up very well, or it ramped up too much, I should say.
Well, I didn't feel that way in Village. I felt like I got pretty overpowered, so I don't know how you will feel, but I feel like the encounters do get easier as you get more guns and you're like choosing guns to upgrade and committing to them. Like the encounters get easier, even though the enemies do get more challenging. There are some very interesting enemies that were also in the original that like will make encounters very difficult if you're not doing them in the way that the game wants you to. But I don't know. I say overall, we talked about there's an encounter very early on, like so early that you have already done it, Preston. That was the hardest one for almost everybody I talked to.
Mm-hmm. It seems like universally it's kind of viewed as one of the hardest. And also, I'm playing on hardcore for my first playthrough. Are you guys playing on standard for your first time through?
Yep.
Okay. Yes, standard.
I'm fake ass gamer boy.
I was close to going easy.
I mean, I think it's great that this game has a lot of different options to cater to the different difficulty options, and like assisted mode looks really cool and really fun. And I think it provides an option to, if you just want to go through and make it more of an action game, then you can lean into that playstyle for sure. And it's awesome. So Resident Evil 2 Remake is like my favorite of the series. And part of that is because I enjoy how it plays now as opposed to how it played back then. Mm-hmm. I didn't enjoy that style as much, as well as like it leans more into the survival horror aspect, whereas Resident Evil 4 is much more of an action survival horror game. Hardcore provides something closer to that feeling and having to juggle resources more often and keep mind everything at my disposal to take advantage, because I'm constantly, like, enemies have more health essentially. Ammo's a little bit more scarce, and so it provides like a greater tension for me in having that feeling. And so like when we were talking about it in the chat, it wasn't even really a grievance for me. It was just notable that that's a point of friction early on. I think it's probably at its hardest at the beginning, like the village and that ravine.
Mm-hmm.
And then it doesn't plateau, but like it starts to even out a little bit more because you start having more tools in your toolkit.
Right. Yeah. And I think at that point you break your knife very early on. And so then you're like scrambling for kitchen knives, or just kind of, you don't feel very safe or effective until you finally meet the merchant again. Well, for the first time again.
Yeah. Yeah, definitely having the higher durability on the knife is very helpful as well. Because, like, I mean, since the village section, I have never had a situation where I get grabbed and I can't knife the enemy.
Yeah.
Whether it's with my knife or with a boot knife or kitchen knife.
Mm-hmm.
I wonder if I can open up this as a shortcut for later.
Oh, so I forget, Preston, what's your experience with the original again?
My experience, I have none. I never played the original.
Okay.
I mean, if I did, it would have been all of 10 minutes of it. But having, grown up in gaming, I'm familiar with it in that context. You see it everywhere, and it's legacy.
It's cultural osmosis.
Right. Have y'all felt like this kind of, oh, sweet, I could have done this all along. Have y'all felt like this? I think whenever Resident Evil 2 Remake came out, it was almost like a cultural kind of, holy hell, this is what remakes can be moment. And, they've kind of I feel like Resident Evil 3 was a little bit less warmly received, I'll say.
Mhm.
And
Those people are wrong, but it's fine.
right. This one is obviously getting really high scores, but I feel like it is not necessarily the technical achievement that 2 to remake felt like.
It's less impressive because
Because 4 was already a really impressive game, I think. Well, is a big part of it.
That, and not only that, the difference between the valley between original Resident Evil 2 and remake of it is so damn different because it's a completely new game. Like how it controls everything about it is completely new, while maintaining like the spirit of that game, right? This is, I mean, it's Resident Evil 2 remake it's taking the concepts of Resident Evil 4 and applying it to that mentality, whereas this is taking Resident Evil 4 and making it Resident Evil 4, and also like having the context of now we know what they're capable of doing with these remakes. It is not as like out of left field, so the expectation is kind of there now that like what they're capable of doing. It's like, yeah, like this is an impressive game. It is not a surprise, but it is nice knowing that it is as fully realized as it is. And I also would say I would say that it is a much better game than Resident Evil 4 original, but it's that's because it has what Resident Evil 4 was to build on.
Yeah, I think it is a much better game. It's definitely a much more fun game to play. But it in a lot of ways it is like, it feels like a really good game that came out in 2023. Whereas Resident Evil 4, when it came out, which mind you, I didn't play it when it came out. I played it like 8 years later. But when it came out, it was a revolutionary game that was years ahead of its time. This just feels like a really great 2023 game.
Yeah, Resident Evil 4 when it released it changed the landscape forever. Like every third-person action game you have basically is because of Resident Evil 4. Like The Last of Us exists because of Resident Evil 4, quite literally and directly. Stuff like that is a one-to-one. Dead Space. We just got a Dead Space remake as well. And they saw Resident Evil 4 and completely changed the design for Dead Space because of like what they saw was the genre was capable of doing, right? Don't you fucking do it.
Yes, egg that man.
Oi.
There's I think an achievement or at least a challenge for egging an enemy.
Oh, really? Okay, that's good to know.
I think there's one of the eggs that you can, at least in the original, you could one hit kill enemies.
I will also say for the remake that there are a lot of sections, having come to Resident Evil 4 very late, there were a lot of sections that were like, this just doesn't feel very good to play.
I agree.
And they have improved on all those.
But I think the original Resident Evil 4 is a fantastic game. But it has problems in its pacing and gameplay that I'm not as over the moon about, but I don't think it was an experiment, right?
Yeah.
So I don't like necessarily hold it against it, but I'm not as infatuated or enamored with the original that a lot of other people were, but I doesn't detract from like the fact that it is one of the most important games ever. In terms of its impact, this remake is definitely not that. Yeah, but it is a better version. It is the best version of that concept.
There was an article, and I guess we can link it down in the show notes, that kind of just talked about how many games pull from the legacy. And I feel like we shared it in the Discord, and I can't quite remember where it was from. But so what do y'all think then? We don't necessarily need to give it a score or anything, but what are your opinions on where you're at right now? How much do you like it compared to the original? I guess we've been talking about that a little bit, but
I love this way more. I really enjoyed the original. I love this way more than the original.
Yeah, I not having the nostalgia for the original, like I definitely love this way more than the original. And also like I know there are a lot of people out there that say like because they have changed so much and because that original has such a great legacy that they will still go back and play that one, but also play this one. Like they just have two versions to play. But like if I ever play Resident Evil 4 and playing this one, yeah.
Which is, I mean, that's fair. They do play differently for sure.
Yeah.
do you see yourself coming back and playing through this one multiple times? I mean, Chris, you said you played it 3 times for the original. You think you'd come back and play this at least 3 times as well?
Yeah, I mean, I finished Village like 6 times. If it's a good Resident Evil game, I will play it a lot of times. I played RE2 Remake 4 or 5 times as well.
I'm planning on playing RE2 Remake on hardcore with a randomizer. That's how much I love that game.
Nice.
Yeah.
And I would gladly do the same for this game. Granted, a randomizer in the context of this game is a little bit has a different impact or how it would play, but like,
boom.
The variety in the tool set that you have just in the base level of the game as is presented is phenomenal. And the amount of potential it has in like, especially picking it up on PC with the modding community, because that was another thing that Remake 2 and 3 had, like phenomenal modding scene, right? The iconic Mr. X's Thomas the Tank Engine thing. Right?
Yeah.
So like, I can't wait to see what this game will have in its mod scene as well. And I think that adds so much more like replay value and potential for things to come down the line, especially a game as beloved as the original, like finding ways to just like freshen up this version of it. And like the goodies that they have, like, you know, the Chicago typewriter exists in this remake as it should, right? Like, that's an iconic weapon that you get from like playing through the game for the first time. Like the suit, the pinstripe suit, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like they did a very good job at maintaining not just making references, but like maintaining the things that were key of playing through the original game and encouraging replayability. And that's all here. Challenge system's great. I would love to 100% this game.
Yeah. Preston, have you bought the treasure map? By the way, that's the first thing you should buy every time you get to a new area.
Always.
I heard about that.
I don't know if I bought it for this area, actually, now that you mentioned that.
Well, the village is, if you bought one, you have it. Like you have it for the entire village section until you get the castle.
Speaking of, I should probably.
There's one for the cat, and it'll also show in the bottom right corner how many treasures you have of the entire zone.
Oh, I didn't even notice that.
Did not notice that either.
And that doesn't count if you got like the deluxe version or like a pre-order or whatever, like the enhanced treasure map thing, that is a separate thing. Those aren't included in the 39 treasures, but
I don't even know what that is. I didn't look at any of that.
I'm going to have to go back and rerun quite a bit of this. Actually, it's not
worth
too bad.
it.
But yeah.
Yeah,
it's pretty quick because it's clear.
Yeah. Don't worry about the village square yet anyway. You need one of those you can't get yet.
Right.
You will come back through there many times.
Let's see. Yeah, so parting thoughts?
Yeah, a couple things that I did want to mention. First of all, you mentioned Resident Evil 3 Remake. I think the reason why that one, a big part of the reason why that one gets so much flack is because they did cut huge sections, and that does not seem to be the case here. Yeah, they have like almost everything. Like there's some stuff they've cut, there's some brand new stuff they've added, but they've kept like the structure of the game more or less the same, at least up to the point that I'm at. And I assume the game would probably not be getting 10 out of 10 scores everywhere if it did not continue to have almost everything that the original had. And then 2 new features that I do want to shout out. one positive, one negative. The positive feature is you can send your guns to storage now. There was never a storage before. You can only do it with your guns. You can't store like your ammo or anything because that would kind of break the inventory system.
And
But-
your first aid kits.
Your first aid sprays, yeah, you can put away too.
Your sprays, yeah.
What did you originally have to do?
You
Just
couldn't
hold them.
You hold everything, so it became the balance of like what you actually wanted to buy.
My God.
Yeah, if you wanted to make room for something, you had to sell it, which is especially useful because there are a couple of guns that you just find in the environment. If you don't have space for them, you can just send them to storage. You can make space later if you want to use it or whatever. You don't have to, okay, I need to go to a merchant and sell this gun I'm not using as much so I can grab this new one.
It just makes it more efficient.
Yeah, less backtracking. The one thing, and this is the first time, gosh, I guess since like Resident Evil 4 in this series that they've like undone this, but when you upgrade ammo capacity on a weapon, you don't get a free clip.
Yeah.
Oh, you
That is
don't get a
true.
free clip.
No,
It does
you
not
always
refill
have
the
before.
magazine. Yep.
I was a
Who
little
needs
disappointed.
one?
It's like it's kind of freeing in a way because you can literally just there's no reason not to always fully reload all your guns. But I kind of liked the extra inventory management of being like, okay, I only have one shotgun shell left in this thing. Once I spend that, I'm not going to reload it because I want to get the free like ammo. So then it kind of puts some stress on you to use other weapons.
Hmm.
Also, the tied to that too is there are instances like if you're selling your gun, if you're planning on selling the gun you have on you, it would not behoove you to reload it because you will lose those rounds. Like you would want to make sure you burn through that magazine and then like send it to your storage, or just don't reload it so you can not lose 12 rounds of handgun or 8 of your shotgun.
Yeah, the bullets in your gun are not worth any money. They don't sell for any extra.
Right.
Where is this?
What about you, Preston? You're a few hours in, and what has your experience been so far? Like, especially not having played the original, coming to this game for the first time.
I was originally pretty frustrated. It felt I was one less impressed with it than Resident Evil 2. And in my head, just for some reason, I was like, I don't know. It's sort of a weird thing to be separated by time from Resident Evil 2 remake to the point where in my head I was thinking that one looks so much better. And I don't know really how true that thought is, but as far as once I made it through that early encounter, I'm feeling a lot less frustrated with it. It feels a lot more approachable. I know that with these sorts of games, the shooting is just going to be a little clunky. And there are going to be mechanics that maybe are just kind of sluggish, right? But there's a purpose to that and to give weight to your character. But it's just sort of like
there's definitely weight.
Yeah, it's about updating your mindset for the game that you're playing and being aware of sort of the systems you're playing within and adapting yourself to that. And now that I've adapted a little bit more, given it a little bit more time, I feel a lot more freed up to just kind of explore and enjoy it. So it's good. It's really what I'm happy with it. I really, really liked Village in a way that I did not expect to like. And
so good.
I think that this will turn into that over time because Village also took me a little while to warm up to.
Yeah, I mean, Village is the closest to RE4 that we had gotten since RE4. It was really just first-person RE4.
Yeah, it was a love letter to Resident Evil 4.
Which I do still think, I haven't finished this one yet, but I think I still like Village a little bit more than this remake, but they're both amazing.
I think part of that has to do with the fact that it's like a brand new entry, whereas this is retreading previously walked ground. But I think to its credit, it does it in the best way, and it's still like a fucking fantastic game.
That's not the right key. What the fudge?
Nope.
You'll get it.
Well, thank you all for joining me. And, I do plan on streaming more of this. I know, Rob, you plan on streaming more of this. So I feel like we're going to see very different, moments within the game, but also skill levels within the game. Dogs
Yeah,
are running all over.
I'll probably stream a professional playthrough.
Yeah. That'd be pro
Wow,
level.
so full of yourself, calling yourself professional. Geez.
Leon is a professional. He's Leon the professional.
Oh, is that what that movie is?
Mhm.
Yeah. Oh, I can't go back this way. Thanks, guys, for joining me and talking me further into this game.
Happily. Thanks for having us.
Yeah, thanks.
And if you want to see more impressions, we have a whole playlist of them. We're going to be having Diablo impressions coming up. And of course, we've got PAX coverage going on right now. For all of that, you should subscribe to the Draft Punks channel. Thanks, please. Bye.
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 I like thanks, please, bye as your outro for all of these.
It's going to be just me begging here soon. And we are still streaming, just a heads up. But I figured it was a good point to not continue further on as well. I just don't know what else, at least in the recording. Like, that was just a good little chunk.
Mm-hmm. Well, you were very close to fighting a chainsaw man, but
yeah,
that's such a great anime.
Worst.
Yeah,
there was a great Chainsaw Man at PAX.
Yeah,
was not functioning. Not a functioning chainsaw.
what?
Yeah,
then I don't care.
Right, but it was a really solid.
I mean, they probably wouldn't have let him in, but you should have gone for it anyway.
Well, they wouldn't have been able to stop him if he had a chainsaw. So,
yeah,
we had what was I going to say? So we're going to be doing Diabolo. I got to see if Travis is still available. So sad that we can't be playing Diablo right now, too.
I know, right?
Truly a tragedy of our generation.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, buddy. He's new. Little goose. Oh, goose. Hey.
So am I able to
Absolutely not. Why would you even ask that?
how do I get the snakes? Do I have to kill them first?
Knife them.
Yeah,
Oh.
you stab him, and then you can pick him up.
That's not
That's
very
a heal
snake
up
taming.
pretty healthy amount of.
They used to turn into eggs, and people were confused as to why they would turn into, like, they would think of them as chicken eggs, but they were just snake eggs. But now you can just straight up, and they would only occupy one space in your inventory, but now they occupy two. But you eat the viper itself. You can also sell the vipers.
Yeah,
Like
for the quest you have.
Mhm.
Like what?
You got the quest right to sell 3 vipers. I think that's what you're looking for. Yeah. I don't.
You'll find more a little bit ahead.
Okay,
Yeah, there's
so
plenty of vipers.
Yeah, you can just move forward.
I don't think those requests ever expire. I guess I've always done them in the chapter I get them, though, so I'm not.
Yeah, I've been knocking them out. First, the only thing I think that would be the medallions, because you obviously leave the area. But
Oh yeah.
Travis
but even then,
thinking.
like, you can loop them back around to a lot of those. There's no reason to not sell everything unless it says it can be inlaid with gems. Like, you can sell the Velvet Blues, you can sell the Vintage Compass. There's no reason to keep those.
I'm sorry, say it one more time. No reason not to sell these?
oh yeah, it'll say like forced selling only, which the original didn't do. You can just straight up sell them and not have to worry about it.
I've got some.
The original was just like you didn't know necessarily if it slotted in or had any of that, so it's a lot more of a gamble unless like you knew upon replay that it didn't.
So yeah, Travis says 30 minutes from now. So
Yeah.
about 7:45 East. Do y'all want to take a break real quick?
Sure, I can run
Yeah.
out call. Yeah, that's fine with me.
Yeah, I just don't want to. I don't want it to like keep y'all here, for 30 minutes. If there's anything,
I
y'all
don't
need
mind
to
sitting and talking to my friends, Preston.
do. This is business.
God
And
damn
this is a business. We're making
Yeah.
bank here.
That's
This is
fine with me, dude.
content creation. Oh, I mean, I'm gonna continue.
It's not supposed to
play
be
this game.
fun.
Yeah, I'm gonna continue to sit here and play this. But
Good.
I
Good.
think
It's a fucking great game.
I'm gonna upgrade the bolt thrower first.
Yeah, there's no real
It's just
if
whatever
you enjoy
you
using the
prefer.
gun, there's no reason not to upgrade it, because if you want to down the line, you can just fucking sell the gun.
Yeah. And there's no replacement for the bolt thrower ever anyway.
Right.
So
Right.
if you're going to keep it on you, there's no reason not to upgrade it.
And it's
I should've got it.
useful. Like it's not. It's. I was having a conversation with someone earlier about like they didn't use the bolt thrower very much because they didn't find it entirely useful for stealth. I was like, that isn't how I've ever used it, because it isn't a one hit kill. Like it's useful for ammo conservation and like mitigating
yellow
like,
herb?
and the yellow diamond eventually is good for getting like a tricolor potentially, but that's if you want to sell that mask now or upgrade your max health right now. That's really all it comes down to.
Yeah, I sold the mask already, so I might as well.
Oh,
do
then
that.
yeah. But you will find for what it's worth. Like also, it's not a bad idea. Like to get the yellow diamond later on, because you'll find other things that can slot.
I would do. I would do a full red, green, yellow, and then just wait until you're low health and use it.
Mm-hmm.
But if I use this, it'll
boost your max health, but you're wasting the red herb on just boosting your max health when you could also get a full heal while you're low.
Right, and it'll over heal you essentially.
Yeah, I always use red, yellow, and green together.
Same.
Like I've never used yellow without being a red, green.
Green, yellow.
Did I just lose out on those two yellows because I didn't have the room?
What do you mean?
I didn't have a full inventory, so I think I lost 2 yellow herbs.
No, you only got one.
No, you only got one.
Oh,
costed 3 spinel.
3 spinel.
One yellow herb.
Yeah, that's all. It's
I was seeing. I get you.
Yeah. But I've had that one time where I bought something, like there was a gemstone that I got. I was a dumbass and I didn't realize until I purchased it. It was like, oh yeah, it doesn't give me 2, it just gives me 1. But it wasn't a waste. It was just like I need to read.
Also, anytime you have a green and a red herb, I would always just combine those, save the space. It's always a full heal. There's no reason not to.
Also, you can ow. Oh yeah, stop.
I can.
I forget. You can move stuff, or like move a green herb on top of a red herb, and it'll just slot them together or combine them.
Yes, and don't do that on accident, because I have done that. Like when I'm just trying to sort things, and then I put 2 herbs on top of each other. And I'm like, no, I didn't want to make a double green.
Yeah, mine is like just tap shift and it lifts it up, and I can or toss it where I need to.
Now, is there any reason to keep any eggs? Is that what?
Their health?
They heal you, yeah. Like if you desperately need this space later, I guess they're probably the first thing to go. But
right.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah, I posted in voice chat my inventory setup. It's not really spoilers.
Oh yeah.
Well, you get a rifle. Preston didn't know that. He's spoiled now.
Uninstall. The secret is out.
Hello.
All right, I will be right back.
Okay. Yeah, we're good for about 30 minutes. So just give me a call.
Cool. Okay. I'll take a break as
Bye-bye.
well. Bye.
Bye.